I'm standing on the edge of now, staring into the vast expanse of what's to come, not just chasing a woman, um, but racing toward her, the one who's already alive. In my mind, in the wildest corners of my dreams, she's not just a face or a fleeting moment. She's a force, destiny, a spark that demands I become the absolute best version of myself. Picture this, a future where someone out there is waiting for you, not the you of today, but the you who's climbed mountains, faced failures, and forged a soul strong enough to match theirs. That's the journey I'm on. I'm not just looking for love, I'm building a life worthy of her. Women out there, let me ask you, are you crafting yourself into the person your destiny is waiting to meet? Because I'm not just walking toward her, I'm rocketing into the future to become the man she deserves. This isn't about fairy tales or Hollywood romance. I'm talking about a vision so big it feels like staring at the stars and deciding to build a ship to reach them. It's a mission, a relentless drive to shape myself into someone who doesn't just stumble into love, but earns it through every choice, every sacrifice, every moment of grit. She's out there, not as a random encounter, but as a force I'm preparing to meet. I see her as a partner who doesn't just stand beside me, but challenges me, pushes me, and together we'll build something that shakes the world. This is about more than romance. It's about becoming a man who can stand tall when she looks into my eyes, knowing I've fought for every inch of who I am. And I want you, women listening, to think, what's the vision you're chasing? What's the dream that pulls you out of bed, that makes you want to be bigger, stronger, better? Building yourself isn't a hobby. It's not something you do when you feel like it or when the mood strikes. It's a full throttle commitment, like designing a rocket to break through Earth's atmosphere and touch the void of space. I've spent years, decades, even pouring everything into my dreams. I've built companies from nothing, watched them teeter on the edge of collapse, and pulled them back through sheer will. I've faced nights where doubt was louder than hope, where the weight of failure felt like it could crush me. But every time I got back up, why? Because I know she's out there, and she's not waiting for a man who gives up. She's waiting for someone who's been through the fire and come out stronger. Women, think about your own battles. How many times have you fallen? How many times have you risen? Those scars on those moments you thought you couldn't survive, they're not weaknesses. They're proof of your strength. The kind of strength your future partner will see and admire. Let's get real. The path to becoming someone worthy of a timeless bond isn't paved with roses. It's more like a trek across a desert with sandstorms and no map. I've had moments where everything I built seemed ready to crumble, times when SpaceX was inches from bankruptcy, when Tesla's production lines were a nightmare, when the world laughed at my dreams of Mars. But each of those moments was a choice, quit or keep going. I chose to keep going, not because it was easy, but because I believe in a future where I meet her and I want to be ready. I want to be the man who can look her in the eye and say, I fought for this. I fought for us. And I want you, women out there, to feel that same fire. What's the desert you're crossing? What's the dream that keeps you moving? Even when the world says it's impossible, that's the fuel that will carry you to the person you're meant to be with. This journey isn't just about me. It's about all of us. Love, at its core, isn't something you stumble into, it's something you build brick by brick, choice by choice. To meet her, I'm not waiting for fate to drop her in my lap. I'm engineering my life, my character, my soul to be ready for that moment. Think of it like building a rocket. Every component matters, every decision, every value, every time you choose courage over comfort, it's all part of the design. I'm not talking about perfection. I'm not perfect, and I don't expect her to be, but I'm talking about purpose, about waking up every day and asking, Am I closer to being the person she deserves? Women, ask yourselves, are you building your life with purpose? Are you crafting a version of yourself that shines so bright it lights up the path for someone else? Values are the foundation of this mission. I'm not chasing fame or wealth. Those are byproducts, not the goal. I'm chasing integrity, resilience, kindness. These aren't just words. They're the steel beams holding up the structure of who I am. When I meet her, I want her to know she can trust me, not because I'm flawless, but because I'm honest. Even when it hurts, I want her to know I'll stand by her, not because it's easy, but because loyalty is non-negotiable. I've learned this through hard lessons, times when I had to admit I was wrong, when I had to rebuild trust, when I had to choose the harder path because it was the right one. Women, think about the values you hold dear. Are you living them every day? Are you building a life that someone can lean on, not just in the good times, but when the storms hit? The beauty of this journey is that it's not about waiting, it's about acting every day. I'm working to sharpen my mind, strengthen my resolve, and deepen my capacity to love. I'm not sitting around dreaming of her. I'm out here building a life that's ready for her. I imagine her doing the same, forging her own path, facing her own battles, becoming a force of nature. When we meet, it won't be two people stumbling into each other by chance. It'll be two forces colliding, two stars aligning to create something brighter than either could be alone. Women, picture this. You're not just waiting for love, you're building a life so powerful that when love comes, it's not a surprise, it's inevitable. What are you doing today to make that happen? What's the one step you can take to get closer to the person you're meant to be? This isn't about small thinking. I don't do small. I think in light years, in galaxies, in futures that most people can't even imagine. When I say I'm going to the future to meet her, I mean, I'm building a life that spans beyond the ordinary, beyond the predictable. I'm not just preparing for a relationship, I'm preparing for a legacy. A life with her won't just be about us, it'll be about what we create together, what we inspire in others, what we leave behind. I want our love to be a beacon, a proof that two people can come together and change the world. Women, don't settle for small dreams. Don't settle for a life that's less than extraordinary. You have the power to build something massive, something that echoes through time. What's the biggest dream you're chasing, and how are you making it real? Failure is part of this. I've failed more times than I can count. I've had rockets explode, companies falter, ideas mocked, but every failure was a lesson, a chance to rebuild stronger. I don't fear failure anymore. I welcome it because it's the forge where I'm shaped. When I meet her, I want her to see a man who's not afraid to fail because he knows how to rise. Women, your failures aren't the end of your story, they're the beginning. Every time you fall, you're learning how to stand taller. Every time you break, you're learning how to rebuild. That's the kind of strength you'll see in me, and it's the kind of strength I know you're building in yourselves. What's the last failure you faced, and how did it make you stronger? This journey is relentless, but it's also exhilarating. It's not about comfort, it's about growth. Every day, I'm pushing myself to think bigger, to act bolder, to love deeper. I'm not doing it just for me. I'm doing it for her, for the life we'll build, for the impact we'll have. I imagine her out there doing the same, facing her fears, chasing her dreams, becoming a woman who doesn't just exist, but shines. When we meet, it won't be a moment of chance. It'll be a collision of purpose, a meeting of two people who've spent their lives preparing for each other. Women, You're not just waiting for love, you're building it. You're crafting a life so vibrant, so powerful, that when you meet your person, it's not just a spark, it's a supernova. So, what's the next step? What's the one thing you can do today to get closer to that future? I'm not promising an easy road. Building yourself is like building a city on Mars. It takes vision, grit, and a refusal to quit. But every step is worth it because every step brings me closer to her. And every step you take brings you closer to the person you're meant to be. I'm not chasing a fantasy, I'm chasing a reality. I'm willing to build. I'm not waiting for her to find me. I'm going to the future to meet her. Women, I challenge you, don't wait. Don't settle. Build yourself into a force, a star, a woman who doesn't just dream but does. Because when you do, the future won't just happen, it'll bow to you. And that's how we'll meet, not as two people crossing paths, but as two forces rewriting the stars together. Let's cut to the chase. Becoming the man worthy of her isn't a side project, it's a mission, a relentless, all in pursuit that demands everything I've got. It's not about chasing fleeting feelings or waiting for some cosmic alignment. It's about engineering myself into someone who can stand shoulder to shoulder with the woman who's out there, forging her own path, becoming a force of nature. This is about constructing a life with the precision of a rocket launch, where every decision, every failure, every hard won lesson is a piece of the puzzle. Women, listen up. You're not just preparing for love, you're preparing for a legacy. Are you building yourself with the same intensity you'd bring to a mission that could change the world? Because that's what I'm doing. And that's what it takes to meet her. Think of it like building a Tesla from the ground up. You don't just slap parts together and hope it runs. You design, test, fail, redesign, and test again until you've got something that doesn't just move, it screams down the road at 100 miles an hour, redefining what's possible. That's how I'm building myself. Every day is a test run, every challenge, a chance to refine the design. I'm not talking about superficial fixes, lifting weights to look good, or chasing accolades to impress. I'm talking about the deep work, forging integrity, sharpening my mind, and cultivating a heart that's strong enough to love through storms. Women, ask yourselves, what's the mission you're on? Are you designing a life that's not just good enough, but extraordinary, worthy of the person you're destined to meet? This mission starts with discipline, the kind that kicks you out of bed when you'd rather hide under the covers. I've had mornings where the weight of my dreams felt like 1,000 tons crushing my chest, days when SpaceX launches failed, when Tesla's production lines were a mess, when the world called me a fool for believing in Mars. But discipline isn't about feeling good. It's about doing the work even when you feel like garbage. It's about showing up day after day and choosing to build something bigger than your doubts. I'm not doing this just for me. I'm doing it for her, for the moment when our paths cross and she sees a man who didn't flinch, didn't quit, didn't settle. Women, think about the moments you wanted to give up. What kept you going? That's the discipline that will carry you to the person you're meant to be with, a person who'll see your grit and love you for it. Let's talk about failure because it's not the enemy, it's the forge. I failed spectacularly, rockets exploding on launchpads, companies teetering on the edge of bankruptcy, ideas that crashed and burned in front of the world. Each one hurt like hell, but each one taught me something. Failure isn't a dead end, it's a data point. It's the universe telling you, try again, but smarter. I've learned to embrace it, to dissect it, to use it to build a better version of myself. When I meet her, I want her to see a man who's not afraid of falling because he knows how to get up. Women, that your failures aren't scars to hide, they're badges of honor. Every time you've stumbled, you've learned how to walk taller. What's the last failure you faced? And how did it shape you into someone stronger? Integrity is the steel in this mission. It's not just about being honest with others, it's about being honest with yourself. I've had to look in the mirror and admit when I was wrong, when I let ego get in the way, when I didn't live up to my own standards. Those moments suck, but they're necessary. They're the crucible where you burn away the fluff and get to the core of who you are. I want her to trust me, not because I'm perfect, but because I'm real, because I own my mistakes and learn from them. Women, ask yourselves, are you living with integrity? Are you honest with yourself about who you are and who you want to be? That's the foundation of a life that someone can rely on, not just in the sunny moments, but when the world turns dark. This mission also demands vision, a big, audacious, world-shaking vision. I don't think small. I think in terms of colonizing Mars, revolutionizing transportation, rewiring the energy grid. That's the scale I bring to building myself. I'm not just preparing to meet her, I'm preparing to build a life with her that changes the game. I imagine us as a team, two minds aligned on a mission to create something bigger than ourselves. Maybe it's a family that reshapes generations. Maybe it's a project that shifts how people live. Whatever it is, it's not ordinary. Women, what's your vision? Are you dreaming big enough? Are you building a life that's not just about you, but about the impact you'll have with the person standing beside you? Resilience is the fuel that keeps this mission going. Life doesn't play nice. It throws curveballs, setbacks, moments that make you question everything. I've been through those moments. Investors pulling out, critics tearing me apart, projects collapsing under their own weight. But resilience isn't about avoiding the hits. It's about taking them and coming back stronger. I want her to see a man who's been knocked down but never stayed down, a man who can weather any storm because he's built himself to endure. Women, think about your own resilience. What's the hardest thing you've faced? How did it make you tougher, wiser, ready for the person who'll walk through life with you? That's the strength that will make your love unstoppable. This isn't about ego. It's not about proving I'm the best or flashing achievements like a trophy case. It's about purpose. Every step I take, every lesson I learn is about becoming someone who can stand beside her and say, we're in this together and we're going to build something epic. I imagine her out there on her own mission, forging her own strength, chasing her own dreams. When we meet, it won't be two people settling for each other. It'll be two forces uniting to create something the world hasn't seen before. Women, picture that moment, the day you meet someone who matches your fire, not because they stumbled into your life, but because you both built yourselves to be ready for it. What are you doing today to make that moment real? The mission isn't glamorous. It's not all bright lights and victory laps. It's late nights, hard choices, moments of doubt that you have to push through. I've spent countless hours working when everyone else was asleep, rethinking strategies, questioning my own path. But every one of those moments is an investment in the future, in her, in us, in what we'll create together. Women, your mission is the same. It's not about the spotlight. It's about the work you do in the shadows, the choices you make where no one's watching. That's what builds a life worthy of love. That's what builds a legacy. And let's be clear, this mission isn't selfish. It's not just about making yourself better for your own sake. It's about preparing to be a partner who lifts up, who inspires, who stands firm when the world shakes. I'm not building myself to impress her. I'm building myself to deserve her, to be the man who can support her dreams, challenge her to grow, and walk with her through every triumph and trial. Women, you're doing the same. Every time you push yourself, every time you choose courage over comfort, you're not just building yourself, you're building the foundation for a love that's bigger than you. What's the one choice you can make today to get closer to that foundation? This mission is relentless, but it's worth it. Every ounce of effort, every moment of discipline, every failure turned into a lesson. It's all for her. For the moment when our eyes meet, and I know I've earned the right to stand beside her, I'm not waiting for fate to hand me love on a silver platter. I'm out here, building it, forging it, making it real. Women, I challenge you to do the same. Don't wait for love to find you. Build yourself into someone who's ready for it, someone who's not just worthy of love, um, but capable of creating a love that changes everything. Because when you do, you're not just meeting someone, you're meeting your destiny. And that's a mission worth fighting for. Love isn't a finish line you cross and call it a day. It's a launch pad, a platform that propels you and your partner into heights you couldn't reach alone. When I think about her, my future wife, I don't see a cozy retreat where we hide from the world. I see a rocket fueled by our shared strength, ready to blast through the atmosphere of ordinary life and aim for the stars. This isn't about settling down, it's about launching up. Women, listen closely. The love you're building toward isn't a cage to confine you, it's a force to set you free. Are you ready to find a partner who doesn't just hold your hand, but pushes you to soar? That's the love I'm chasing, and that's the love I want you to demand for yourselves. Picture a rocket on the launch pad, humming with potential, every system checked, every bolt tightened, ready to defy gravity itself. That's what love should be, a structure so strong it can carry you through the chaos of life and into the vast unknown of what's possible. I don't dream of a love that keeps me comfortable. I dream of a love that makes me unstoppable. She's out there, and I know she's not looking for someone to coddle her. She's looking for someone to amplify her, to take her ambitions and multiply them, to stand beside her as we build something the world can't ignore. Women, ask yourselves, what kind of love are you preparing for? One that shrinks your dreams or one that launches them into orbit? This idea of love as a launch pad means it's not just about feelings, it's about action. Feelings are great, but they're like the spark that ignites the fuel. The real power comes from what you do together, how you push each other forward. I've spent my life building things, companies, cars, rockets that redefine what's possible. But the greatest thing I'll ever build is a life with her, where our combined energy creates something bigger than either of us could achieve alone. I see us as a team where my vision meets her clarity, where my drive meets her resilience. Together, we won't just live, we'll reshape the future. Women, think about the person you want beside you. Are you building yourself to be someone who can amplify their strengths, who can turn their dreams into reality? Let's talk about synergy, because that's the magic of a true partnership. In physics, when two waves align perfectly, they don't just add up, they amplify each other, creating a force greater than the sum of their parts. That's what I want with her. I bring the big ideas, the relentless push to break boundaries. She brings the grounding, the focus, the strength to turn those ideas into reality. Where I might rush headlong into the unknown, she'll be the one who says, slow down, let's make this work. And where she might doubt herself, I'll be there to say, you've got this, and I'm with you. Women, imagine a love where your strengths aren't just appreciated, they're magnified, where your partner doesn't compete with you but completes you. What are you doing today to become that kind of partner? This launchpad isn't just for personal dreams, it's for collective impact. I don't want a love that's just about us, tucked away in some private corner. I want a love that ripples outward, that changes lives, that sets an example. Maybe it's the way we raise our kids, teaching them to dream big and never quit. Maybe it's the way we tackle problems together, showing the world what's possible when two people are truly aligned. I've built companies that changed industries, but the legacy I want with her is bigger. It's about showing what love can do when it's not just a feeling, but a force. Women, think about the impact you want your love to have. Are you preparing for a relationship that inspires others, that proves commitment isn't a relic, but a revolution? Stability is the key to this launch pad. You can't launch a rocket from a shaky platform, it'll crash before it leaves the ground. Love needs that same rock solid foundation. For me, that's trust, loyalty, and a shared commitment to something bigger than ourselves. I've seen what happens when trust falters, projects fail, teams fall apart, dreams crumble. I won't let that happen with her. I'm building myself to be someone she can rely on, not just when things are easy, but when life throws its worst at us. Women, ask yourselves, are you building a foundation strong enough to launch a life with someone? Are you cultivating the kind of trust that can weather any storm? That's the stability that makes love a launch pad, not a liability. Accountability is another piece of this. Alone, it's easy to slack off, to let fear creep in, to put off your dreams for another day. But with the right partner, you've got someone who holds you to your highest potential, not out of judgment, but out of belief. I imagine her calling me out when I'm coasting, pushing me to be better, reminding me of why I started. And I'll do the same for her. Not because I want to control her, but because I want her to shine as brightly as I know she can. Women, picture a partner who doesn't let you settle, who sees the greatness in you and won't let you hide from it. Are you ready to be that kind of partner? Two, are you ready to hold someone accountable, not with criticism, but with love? This launchpad also thrives on shared resources. I don't mean money or material things. I mean the intangible strengths we bring to the table. Maybe I'm the dreamer, always reaching for the next big idea. Maybe she's the planner, the one who maps out the path to make it happen. Together, our skills, our perspectives, our energies combine into something unstoppable. I've seen this in my work. Teams that succeed don't just have talent, they have synergy. Love is the same. It's not about one person carrying the other, it's about both of you carrying each other forward, farther than either could go alone. Women, what unique strengths do you bring to a partnership? Are you honing them, ready to share them with someone who'll multiply them? The beauty of love as a launchpad is that it's not about limiting each other, it's about liberating each other. I've heard people talk about relationships like they're a compromise, a sacrifice of freedom. That's nonsense. A true partnership doesn't clip your wings, it gives you a runway to take off. With her, I'll be more myself, not less. My dreams won't shrink, they'll grow because she'll be there to fuel them, to challenge them, to make them real. And I'll do the same for her. Women, don't settle for a love that holds you back. Build yourself to be someone who can lift up a partner, who can turn their dreams into reality, who can launch a life together that's bigger than anything you could have imagined alone. This isn't a passive dream, it's an active pursuit. Every day, I'm working to be the man who can stand on that launch pad with her, ready to take on the universe. I'm not waiting for her to show up and make my life complete. I'm building a life that's ready for her to amplify. Women, you're doing the same. You're not just waiting for love, you're preparing for it. Crafting a life so powerful that when you meet your person, it's not just a moment, it's a launch. So, what's the next step? What's the one thing you can do today to build that launch pad, to make yourself ready for a love that doesn't just change your life, but changes the world? The world doesn't stand still, and neither can love. If I'm going to build a bond with her, my future wife that lasts beyond the storms of life, it has to be flexible, like a spacecraft adjusting its trajectory mid-flight to hit a target a million miles away. Love that's rigid breaks under pressure. Love that adapts, thrives through change, not chasing a static fairy tale where everything stays the same forever. Chasing a dynamic, living connection that evolves with every twist and turn of life. Women, hear me out. The love you're preparing for isn't a snapshot frozen in time. It's a journey that demands you bend, shift, and grow without losing your core. Are you ready to adapt, to become a woman who can dance with change and still hold fast to what matters most? That's the path I'm on. And it's the path to a love that conquers time. Imagine life as a river, constantly moving, carving new paths through stone, reshaping the landscape with every season. You can't fight the current and win. You have to learn to navigate it, to flow with it, to harness its power. That's what I'm doing as I prepare for her. I've seen change upend everything. Companies I've built pushed to the brink. Dreams I've chased reshaped by reality. Moments where I had to rethink who I was. Each time I could have dug in my heels, clung to the old plan, and watched it crumble. Instead, I learned to pivot, to find new angles, to adapt without compromising my mission. I want a love with her that does the same, a love that doesn't fear change, but uses it to grow stronger. Women, think about the changes you faced. How have you navigated them? Are you building a self that can flow with life's currents? Ready to meet a partner who'll do the same? Adaptability starts with accepting that she won't be the same woman I meet 10, 20, or 30 years from now. Her dreams will shift, her perspective will deepen, her strengths will evolve through experiences she hasn't yet had. And the same goes for me. I'm not the man I was a decade ago. My failures, my triumphs, my relentless drive have reshaped me. To love her means embracing who she's becoming, not clinging to who she was when we first met. Um, it's about celebrating her growth, encouraging her to chase new horizons, and being willing to evolve alongside her. Women, ask yourselves, are you ready to love someone who's always growing? Are you ready to keep growing yourself, to stay curious, to keep discovering the person you'll share your life with? That's the kind of love I'm building for, one that's alive and ever changing. Change isn't always gentle. It can hit like a meteor. A new career might shift priorities, pulling you across the country or demanding late nights. A family tragedy might test your emotional reserves. A financial hit might force you to rethink everything. I've been through those moments when Tesla was bleeding cash, when SpaceX launches failed, when the weight of my choices felt like it could crush me. Each time, I had to adapt, to find new ways to solve problems, to keep moving forward. I want a love with her that can do the same where we face life's disruptions, not as threats, but as chances to reinvent how we connect, how we support each other. Women, think about the last time life threw you a curveball. Did it break you, or did it make you rethink, rebuild, reconnect? That's the adaptability that will make your love unbreakable. This kind of love requires constant learning. I don't assume I'll know everything about her the moment we meet. She's not a puzzle to solve once and set aside. She's a universe to explore with new layers revealing themselves over time. I want to study her, to listen, to understand how her needs shift, how her dreams evolve. Maybe in the early days, she loves grand gestures, but later, she craves quiet moments of connection. Maybe her ambitions take her in a direction I didn't expect. Adaptability means never assuming I've got her figured out, but always staying curious, always ready to learn how to love her better. Women, Are you ready to approach love with that same curiosity, to keep learning about your partner, to adjust how you show up for them as life changes? That's how you keep love fresh, relevant, alive. Communication is where adaptability lives or dies. Early on, passion might spark quick words or heated arguments, but as love matures, it demands patience, empathy, and a willingness to listen differently. I've had to learn this the hard way moments where I spoke before I thought, where I didn't hear what was really being said. Building myself for her means sharpening my ability to listen, to understand not just her words, but her heart. It means being humble enough to admit when I'm wrong and flexible enough to change how I approach conflict. Women, think about how you communicate in your relationships. Are you open to changing how you listen, how you speak, how you resolve tension? Adaptable love turns misunderstandings into bridges, conflicts into deeper understanding. The world itself demands adaptability. We're living in a time of relentless change technology racing forward, culture shifting under our feet, distractions pulling at us from every direction. I've seen how fast the world can move, how it can overwhelm even the strongest plans. A love that lasts can't ignore that noise, it has to navigate it. That means using technology to strengthen connection, not weaken it. It means setting boundaries to protect what matters. It means staying clear about your values, even when the world screams at you to conform. I want a love with her that doesn't get lost in the chaos, but rises above it, adapting to the demands of the modern world while holding fast to what's timeless. Women, how are you navigating the noise of today's world? Are you building a self that can stay steady, that can adapt without losing its essence? Adaptability doesn't mean abandoning your core. My values, honesty, loyalty, resilience are the steel frame of who I am. They don't bend, but how I express them, how I live them, that's where flexibility comes in. Think of a skyscraper. Its foundation is unyielding, but it sways slightly in the wind to avoid collapse. That's the kind of love I'm building, for one that's grounded in unshakable principles, but flexible enough to move with life's winds. I want her to know that no matter how the world changes, my commitment to her is rock solid. But the way we live, that commitment will evolve with every season. Women, are you building a life with that same balance? A core that's steady, but a spirit that's ready to shift, to grow, to adapt? The beauty of this approach is that it keeps love vibrant. Rigid love grows stale, trapped in routines, bound by expectations that no longer fit. But adaptable love is like a living thing. It breathes, it grows, it reinvents itself. In the early years, our love might be all fire and adventure, chasing dreams with reckless abandon. In the middle years, it might be about building stability, raising a family, or tackling challenges together. In the later years, it might be quiet companionship, rich with wisdom and shared history. Each phase is different, but each is meaningful because we've chosen to adapt, to keep love alive in new forms. Women, imagine a love that never grows old because it's always evolving. Are you ready to build that kind of love, to embrace each new season with openness and courage? Ultimately, adaptability is strength. It's the courage to face the unknown, or the humility to change when needed, the wisdom to know that permanence isn't about resisting change, but embracing it together. I'm not preparing for a love that stays the same. I'm preparing for a love that grows with us, that thrives through every shift, every challenge, every transformation. Women, and you're not just building yourself for love, you're building yourself for a love that can master time. So, what's the next change you need to embrace? What's the one step you can take today to become a woman who doesn't just survive change, but uses it to shine brighter? That's how I'm preparing to meet her, and that's how you'll prepare to meet your destiny. Love that lasts isn't fragile, crumbling under the weight of life's chaos. It's anti-fragile, stronger because of the pressure, not in spite of it. When I envision her, my future wife, I don't see a delicate bond that needs shielding from the world. I see a force that grows fiercer with every challenge, a connection that turns storms into strength, setbacks into stepping stones. This isn't about surviving together, it's about thriving, about building a love that doesn't just endure, but expands under the crush of adversity. Women, listen up. The love you're preparing for shouldn't wilt. When life gets tough, it should shine brighter. Are you crafting yourself into someone who can forge a bond that doesn't break but grows under pressure? That's the kind of love I'm chasing. And it's the kind of love I want you to demand. Think of a diamond born from crushing pressure deep in the earth, transformed from raw carbon into something unbreakable. Radiant. That's the love I'm building toward with her. I've faced my share of pressure, companies on the brink of collapse, dreams mocked as impossible, nights where the weight of my ambitions felt like it could bury me. Each time, I didn't just survive, I learned, I grew, I came out stronger. I want a love that does the same. When life throws its worst at us, financial strain, personal failures, moments of doubt, I want us to face it together. Not as victims, but as alchemists, turning pain into power. Women, think about the pressures you faced. How have they shaped you? Are you building a self that can turn life's challenges into fuel for a love that's unstoppable? Anti-fragile love thrives on tension. Disagreements, they're not cracks in the foundation, they're workouts for the soul. I've had moments in my life where I clashed with those closest to me, where misunderstandings could have torn things apart. But instead of running, I learned to lean in, to listen, to find clarity in the chaos. With her, I want every argument to be a chance to understand her better, to sharpen our connection. A fight shouldn't weaken us, it should make us stronger because we're committed to working through it, to finding the truth together. Women, ask yourselves, how do you handle conflict? Are you ready to build a love where tension isn't a threat, but a tool, where every disagreement deepens your bond rather than divides it? Pressure reveals character. In easy times, anyone can play nice, hide flaws behind charm or promises. But when the heat's on, when money's tight, when distance separates, when life tests your limits, that's when you see who someone really is. I've been through those fires. I've had to face my own shortcomings, admit when I was wrong, rebuild when things fell apart. I'm not perfect. And I don't expect her to be, but I want her to be real, to face her flaws with courage, to grow through the pressure, just as I'm learning to do. Women, are you ready to show up as your true self in a relationship? Not hiding your imperfections, but owning them. That's the kind of authenticity that builds a love strong enough to withstand anything. Pain to is a catalyst in anti-fragile love. I've known lost moments when the world felt like it was caving in, when failure stung like 1,000 cuts. But those moments taught me something profound. Pain shared is pain transformed. With her, I want to turn our darkest moments into intimacy, our losses into bonds that nothing can break. Imagine facing grief together, not pulling away, but holding tighter, letting vulnerability weave you closer. I've learned that the rawest moments when you cry together, when you stand in the wreckage of a dream, are where love grows deepest. Women, think about the pain you've carried. Are you ready to share it with someone? to let it become a thread that ties you closer rather than a wedge that drives you apart. Distance is another test. Antifragile, love conquers. I've spent years working across continents, chasing goals that pulled me far from home. Separation can kill a fragile bond. But for us, it'll be fuel, letters, calls, shared dreams across miles. They'll sharpen our trust, deepen our commitment. I want her to know that no amount of distance can weaken what we have because our love isn't tied to proximity, it's tied to faith in each other. When we reunite, the bond will be stronger, not because we avoided the challenge, but because we faced it head on. Women, are you preparing for a love that can bridge any gap, that grows stronger even when you're apart? That's the kind of love that laughs in the face of distance. External pressures, criticism, societal expectations, the noise of a world that loves to judge can't touch an anti-fragile bond. I've been called crazy, reckless, a dreamer who'll never succeed, but those voices don't define me, and they won't define us. With her, I want a love that stands firm against the world's opinions, a love we define on our own terms. Every attack from the outside will only make us hold tighter, reaffirm our commitment, prove that our bond belongs to us alone. Women, are you building a self that can stand tall against the noise? Are you ready for a love that doesn't bend to external pressure, but uses it to solidify what you share? Time itself is the ultimate pressure, and anti-fragile love grows richer with it. Most relationships fade as the years pile on, excitement dulls, familiarity creeps in, passion cools. But I want a love that deepens with time, where every year adds layers of shared history, triumphs, and trials. The early days might burn with intensity, but the later years will glow with depth, with the kind of richness that only comes from weathering life together. I want to grow old with her, to look back and see a story of resilience, of a love that didn't just survive time but mastered it. Women, are you ready for a love that doesn't fade but grows, that turns every year into a testament of strength? Humility is the secret sauce of anti-fragile love. You can't grow stronger under pressure if you're too stubborn to learn. I've made mistakes, plenty of them, times when I let pride cloud my judgment, when I didn't listen as well as I should have. But I've learned to own those moments, to let them teach me how to be better. With her, I want a love where we both have the humility to admit when we're wrong, to learn from each challenge, to grow together rather than apart. Women, are you cultivating that humility? Are you ready to build a love where mistakes aren't the end, but the beginning of something stronger? This anti-fragile love isn't just about us. It's about the courage it inspires in both of us. Knowing she's by my side, I'll take bigger risks, chase bolder dreams, because I know I'm not alone. And I want her to feel the same, empowered to step into her greatness, knowing I've got her back no matter what. This love becomes a safety net and a springboard, letting us both push further without fear of falling. Women, imagine a love that doesn't hold you back but propels you forward. That gives you the courage to chase your biggest dreams. Are you building yourself to be that kind of partner? Someone who inspires and is inspired? Ultimately, anti-fragile love is about turning every challenge into an opportunity. It's not about avoiding pressure, but embracing it, knowing that each test makes you stronger, closer, more unbreakable. I'm not preparing for a love that needs protection. I'm preparing for a love that thrives in the fire, that grows under the weight, that laughs at the storms. Women, um, you're not just building yourself for love, you're building yourself for a love that redefines strength. So, what's the next pressure you need to face? What's the one step you can take today to become a woman who doesn't just endure, but shines brighter because of the challenges? That's how I'm preparing to meet her. And that's how you'll forge a love that's truly timeless. Love isn't a closed loop, a private bubble for just two people. It's a force that ripples outward, touching lives, shaping futures, and leaving a mark that outlasts you. When I think of her, my future wife, I don't just see us as a couple content in our own little world. I see us as a spark that ignites something bigger, a beacon that inspires families, communities, even generations. This love isn't about keeping it small, it's about scaling it, letting it grow beyond us, transforming the world around us. Women, hear this. The love you're building toward isn't just for you, it's a gift to everyone who witnesses it. Are you crafting a life that can create a love so powerful it changes the world? That's the vision I'm chasing. And it's the vision I want you to embrace. Imagine a single pebble dropped into a still lake. The ripples don't stop at the edge, they spread, touching everything in their path. That's what I want our love to be. The way we treat each other, the way we face challenges, the way we laugh in the quiet moments. It's not just for us, it's a lesson, a model, a light for others. I've built companies that reshaped industries, but the legacy I want with her is deeper. I want our love to show the world what's possible when two people are truly united, when commitment isn't a burden but a superpower. Women, think about the ripple effect of your life. What kind of love are you preparing to share? One that stays hidden or one that inspires others to believe in something greater? This scaling of love starts small in the everyday moments. It's in the way we resolve an argument, not with anger, but with respect, showing our kids, our friends, even strangers, that conflict doesn't have to tear people apart. It's in the way we celebrate each other's wins, not out of obligation, but with genuine joy, proving that love can amplify success rather than compete with it. I've learned this through hard-won experience. The small choices matter. I've had moments where I could have let pride win, where I could have walked away instead of listening, but choosing kindness, choosing patience, those are the moments that build a legacy. Women, ask yourselves, what small choices are you making today that could echo through the lives of others? Are you building a love that teaches without words? Our love will be a blueprint, especially for the next generation. If we have kids, they'll watch us not just what we say, but what we do, the way I speak to her when I'm tired, the way she stands by me when I stumble, with the way we laugh together over nothing at all. These are the lessons they'll carry into their own lives. I've seen how my actions ripple through my teams, how my commitment to a vision inspires others to push harder. I want our love to do the same for our family. Showing our children what it means to love deeply, to stay loyal, to fight for something bigger than yourself. Women, imagine the legacy your love could leave. Are you preparing to be a woman whose actions teach others, your kids, your community, how to love with strength and grace? This isn't just about family. Our love will touch everyone who crosses our path. Friends will see us and find hope in their own relationships. Strangers might catch a glimpse of us holding hands through a tough moment and think, maybe commitment isn't a myth. In a world full of broken promises and fleeting connections, a love that stands firm is a radical act. I built things, rockets, cars, tunnels that people said couldn't be done. But the greatest proof I want to offer the world is a love that endures, that shines, that shows what's possible when two people refuse to give up. Women, are you ready to live a love that's a testament, a proof that trust and loyalty are still alive? That's the kind of love I'm preparing for. One that doesn't just exist, but inspires, Scaling love means it's not about grand gestures, it's about consistency. I don't need to shout our love from the rooftops or make dramatic displays. It's in the quiet moments, the way I listen when she's struggling, the way she supports me when I'm chasing a wild idea, the way we choose each other day after day. These moments create an energy that others feel, an authenticity that resonates without effort. I've seen this in my work. When you're consistent, when you show up with integrity, people notice and it changes how they see the world. Our love will do the same, quietly influencing those around us to believe in something deeper. Women, think about the energy you bring to your relationships. Are you consistent in your actions, your values? Are you building a love that others can feel even without you saying a word? Purpose is what fuels this expansion. Our love won't just be about surviving together, it'll be about creating together. I've always believed in building things that matter, whether it's a rocket to Mars or a car that changes how we move. With her, I want to build a life that serves a purpose beyond us. Maybe it's raising kids who change the world. Maybe it's supporting each other's dreams so we can impact lives around us. Whatever it is, our love will be a platform for progress, a force that pushes us to do more, be more, give more. Women, what purpose will your love serve? Are you preparing to be a woman who doesn't just love, but creates, who doesn't just exist, but impacts? This scaling doesn't mean losing intimacy. Our love will always be sacred, a private flame that burns at its core, but its warmth will radiate outward, touching others without us even trying. I've learned this from my work. When you build something real, something true, its impact spreads naturally. I want our love to be that kind of force, not broadcasted for attention, but evident in how we live, the way we face challenges together, the way we lift each other up, the way we choose love. Even when it's hard, it'll speak louder than any proclamation. Women, are you building a love that doesn't need to be shouted to be seen? A love that's felt in your actions, your choices, your unwavering commitment? The generational impact is where this gets profound. Our love won't end with us. It'll live on in the values we pass down, the lessons we teach, the strength we instill. I want our kids, our grandkids, to carry forward the principles we live by: resilience, kindness, the courage to dream big. I've seen how ideas can outlive their creators. My companies are built to last beyond me. Our love will be the same, a legacy woven into the fabric of those who come after us. Women, imagine a love that doesn't just shape your life, but shapes the future. Are you preparing to be a woman whose love creates a lineage of strength, compassion, and purpose? Ultimately, scaling love is about understanding its power. It's not just a feeling, it's a force that can change how people see relationships, how they see commitment, how they see themselves. I'm not preparing for a love that stays small. I'm preparing for a love that grows, that inspires, that leaves the world better than we found it. Women, you're not just building yourself for love, you're building yourself for a love that expands the world. So, what's the next step? What's the one choice you can make today to create a love that doesn't just belong to you, but belongs to everyone it touches? That's how I'm preparing to meet her, and that's how you're prepared to meet your destiny. The journey to meet her, my future wife, isn't a race to a finish line. It's a voyage with no final destination, a relentless pursuit that keeps unfolding, growing richer with every step. Love, in its truest form, doesn't end when you find the person you're meant to be with. That's just the launch of a new orbit, a new adventure where every day is a chance to deepen, to create, to push beyond what you thought possible. I'm not building myself for a single moment of meeting her. I'm building for a lifetime of becoming more together, of crafting a legacy that stretches beyond us into the stars. Women, hear this. The love you're preparing for isn't a chapter that closes, it's a story that keeps writing itself forever. Are you ready to become a woman whose journey never stops, whose love keeps evolving, whose life inspires others to keep reaching? That's the path I'm on, and it's the path I'm calling you to walk. Think of love as a mission to colonize a new world. Like Mars, you don't just land and call it done. You build, you explore, you adapt to the unknown, and you keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. That's how I see my life with her. Meeting her won't be the end of my growth. It'll be the beginning of a shared expedition where we challenge each other to keep climbing, to keep discovering, to keep building something extraordinary. I've spent my life chasing what others called impossible rockets that land themselves, cars that drive themselves, tunnels that redefine cities. But the greatest impossibility I want to conquer is a love that never stops growing, that defies time itself. Women, ask yourselves, are you preparing for a love that ends with happily ever after, or one that keeps rewriting the story, pushing you to new heights every day? This journey demands a mindset of constant evolution. I'm not the man I was 10 years ago, and I won't be the same man 10 years from now. Life, its triumphs, failure, its relentless pace changes you. I've had to reinvent myself through every crash landing, every near collapse of my dreams, every moment I doubted my own path. And I know she's out there doing the same, becoming a woman who's not afraid to evolve, to shed old versions of herself to become something greater. Our love will be a commitment to that evolution, to supporting each other's growth, to celebrating the new layers we uncover in each other. Women, are you ready to embrace your own evolution? Are you building a self that's not static but dynamic, ready to grow alongside someone who's doing the same? The beauty of this endless journey is its unpredictability. Life doesn't hand you a roadmap, it throws you into the unknown. With twists you can't predict. I've faced those twists, moments when my company is hung by a thread, when the world doubted me, when I had to pivot or perish. Each one taught me to embrace the unknown, to see it not as a threat, but as a chance to discover something new. With her, I want a love that thrives on that unpredictability, where we face life's surprises together, not with fear, but with curiosity, a missed flight, a sudden career shift, a dream that takes us across the globe. Whatever comes, we'll tackle it as partners, explorers in a world that's always changing. Women, are you ready for a love that doesn't shrink from the unknown, but dives into it? Eager to see what's next. This journey also means embracing the long game. I don't think in days or months, I think in decades, in century. My work is about building things that outlast me, that shape the future long after I'm gone. Our love will be the same. I want it to be a force that doesn't just burn brightly in our lifetime, but leaves a glow for generations. Maybe it's the values we instill in our children, resilience, curiosity, compassion that they carry forward. Maybe it's the way our love inspires others to believe in commitment, to chase their own impossible dreams. I want our story to be a spark that lights fires long after we're here. Women, think about the long game of your life. Are you building a love that's not just for now, but for forever, that leaves a mark on the world? Commitment is the fuel for this endless journey. It's not about grand promises made in a moment of passion. It's about the daily choice to show up, to choose each other, to keep building even when it's hard. I've learned this through my work. Success doesn't come from one big moment, but from thousands of small, deliberate choices. With her, I want a love where we choose each other every day. not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Through the sleepless nights, the tough conversations, the moments when life tests us, we'll keep choosing to build, to grow, to love. Women, are you ready to make that daily choice? To build a love that's not just a feeling, but a commitment, a decision to keep going no matter what? Joy is the heartbeat of this journey. It's not about constant highs or endless romance. It's about finding joy in the shared moments, big and small. I imagine laughing with her over a failed dinner we tried to cook together, finding wonder in a quiet sunrise after a long night, celebrating a win that took years to achieve. I've known joy in my work when a rocket lands perfectly, when a car rolls off the line, when a crazy idea becomes reality. But the joy I want with her will be deeper because it's shared, because it's ours. Women picture a love where joy isn't just in the big moments, but in the everyday where you find it in the struggle, in the growth, in the simple act of being together. Are you building a self that can find joy in the journey, no matter where it leads? This journey also means letting go of control. I'm a planner, I build systems, design outcomes, calculate risks. But love, like life, doesn't always follow the blueprint. Sometimes it's messy, unpredictable, full of surprises. You can't engineer. I've had to learn to let go, to trust the process, to believe that the detours are part of the path. With her, I want to love where we don't cling to control, but embrace the chaos, trusting that our bond is strong enough to handle it. Women, are you ready to let go of the need to control every detail, to build a love that thrives in the messiness, that finds strength in the unpredictability? Ultimately, this journey is about freedom. Um, a timeless love doesn't bind you, it liberates you. It gives you the courage to chase your wildest dreams, knowing someone's by your side, cheering you on. I want a love with her that makes us both more ourselves, not less, where my ambitions are fueled by her belief, where her dreams are amplified by my support. I'm not preparing for a love that ends. I'm preparing for a love that keeps pushing us forward, that keeps us reaching, that keeps us alive. Women, you're not just building yourself for love, you're building yourself for a journey that never stops. So, what's the next step? What's the one choice you can make today to become a woman whose love is a story without end? A force that keeps growing forever? That's how I'm preparing to meet her. And that's how you're prepared to meet your destiny.